Hi, this is Jessica Palvino with Drone Advocates, and we're here with Craig Nehrkorn of Drone Dynamics.
That's correct.
Craig, thank you so much for being here with us this evening.
Thank you for inviting me.
So tell us a little bit about Drone Dynamics. What do you guys do?
Our group began as the in-house services group for DJI. I figure if people are watching this or attending today's meeting, they're probably familiar with DJI and 3D robotics. So those two companies are the world's first and second largest manufacturers of hobby and industrial grade drone equipment, with probably 70 to 80% of the worldwide market share. So little do people know, the first North American office for DJI was actually at West Anderson Lane in Burnett here in Austin, Texas. And that's where the Phantom 1, Phantom 2, and Phantom 3 were designed in conjunction with the Shenzhen office of DJI. And so all of the promotional videos you saw from day one basically came out of that in-house services team. And that being a Chinese-owned company, the entire group basically moved, I think, a solid 5 miles down the road to 360 in Spicewood Springs and opened the Austin, Texas office of 3D Robotics. We ended up operating as the professional services group for in-house professional services group for 3D Robotics, and compliments of the recent FAA approval for all commercial activity, basically spun off as a standalone company that services commercial and government agencies.
So tell me, what does Drone Dynamics do? Who are some of your clients, and what type of stuff do you do? What do you do for them?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do turned out to be considerably more complicated than we bargained for at first, but we made it through the last 5 years and have made tremendous progress. So on one hand, there's the well-known promise of robotics, promise of drones. How many years ago did we hear Amazon tell everybody that packages are going to fall from the sky to their front porch? The next thing on everybody's mind, which you and your friends probably joked around about, is how in the world could that possibly work? People are going to shoot it out of the sky. Is that even legal? Can a drone fly that far? None of it seems like it's actually practical. So that's actually true for a lot of mission types, not just Amazon delivering packages. Our whole business model is basically built around trying to bridge the gap between the promise of robotics, the promise of drones, and today's immediate needs. So how can you legally, financially, logistically, technologically inspect a cell phone tower at a lower cost than traditional methods, or a flare stack,
And so what industries do you see right now having the most potential? And then I'm going to have a follow-up question for you after that. But right now, where we stand, what industries are you seeing that are using drones the most?
Yeah, absolutely. So we made strategic decisions to focus on geographically the state of Texas and the industries of public safety and utilities specifically. And these are the industries and geographies that we're going to start with, that we started with, and we're going to expand from there. Basically, there are legal and regulatory requirements to do routine inspection, you're probably glad to know this, of bridges and dams and cell phone towers and basically all critical infrastructure. There's also the need for first responders. Y'all met with Gene Robinson earlier. Firefighters and law enforcement officers to do their jobs as safely as possible and as cost effectively as possible, since these are basically missions executed using taxpayer resources. We focus most of our energy there. And we have case studies, white paper, flight procedure guidelines that show how you can do a legally required mission safer, faster, cheaper, and with enhanced capabilities.
And so where do you see the industry going in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? What are your projections for the future?
So y'all are probably tired of hearing people say, this is so exciting, there's so much potential, this is going to be amazing. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and say the same thing. This is truly exciting. The potential is amazing. If you just have casual conversation with anybody, regardless of the industry in which they work, and ask them, assuming they know nothing about drone technology and all of the complexity that exists with implementing it as a robotic solution, and ask them, do you see the potential for you to do your job better if robotics and drones specifically could be added as a tool in your tool belt? And they all rattle off a bunch of ideas. Some of them may be the best ideas ever. Some of them may be a little far-fetched and completely impractical. The fact of the matter is there's probably 100 solid industries, agriculture as an example of one of them, construction as an example of another, television and film a third, and 97 others, where there are a dozen different mission types, a dozen unique applications that are possible. And each one of those verticals could literally be a $100 million business, which is just nuts.
Is there anything you want to tell me that I forgot to ask you?
No, I think that's, at a high level, that's the gap that we're trying to bridge. It's the gap between the promise of robotics and drones and how do we actually make this feasible, practical, affordable, and legal, and go ahead and do it today. So that's our whole business.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Craig, for being with
Yeah,
us tonight.
thank you.